Good morning. CDT day 142, also known as 9 days left on the Continental Divide Trail. And this is my view from my tent. See, I'm actually in my tent right now. And the sun is just starting to hit these beautiful rock walls on these mountains, and seeing a little bit of shadow play on the side there. Absolutely gorgeous. Nothing quite like a hot breakfast on a cold morning with a view. Today's breakfast item is 2 packs of beef ramen with 2 beef sticks, some bacon bits. What else we have in there? Romano cheese, sharp cheese. Yeah, the works. Lots of protein, lots of fats, lots of carbs. All those macros accounted for. And then I'm also going to throw in some carnations for dessert after and enjoy this a little bit longer. 8:45 a.m. on Wednesday, September 18th, and I'm on the move. Wildfires can definitely be pretty sad, but they present a pretty big color opportunity as well. You can see in the foreground here, bright yellows mixed in with some greens, a couple dark reds, and then you have the contrast of just the pitch black of these trees and the burnt orange rust colored pine needles on the ones that still have needles standing on them. And then you jump to the background, and these mountains have all kinds of different grays, browns, even kind of like blue tints, blacks in them, in these layers. And then on the slopes, you just have the same thing, greens mixed with yellows. I mean, the color is just insane. And then even up there, you got some snow, so you got the white. There's so much color here. This burn definitely looks recent. No thick growth and plant life underneath, so there hasn't been enough time for anything new to grow, and there's still black char all over these trees, and not a lot of them have fallen either. So I'd say sometime in the past year, a couple years probably. And it's gotten everything. Like every pass I've gone over, every new valley I've walked into since I got over Switchback Pass yesterday, this has all been burned, so this is a big one. It's too bad. It appears I found myself perched upon a cliff. Don't look down. That's really cool. Back into the land of the living. Heading down into the forest and the river valley that was not affected by the wildfire, so getting a lot more green. That's pretty cool. I am just a kid playing in the woods, and today is a very good day. A decent sized river crossing. Luckily I found this log jam. So now it's time for a little bit of a balancing act to get across. Finally made it into an aspen grove so I can see them starting to change. I think last night was one of the big changing days. It was a chilly night. Look at all this. I'm surrounded by beauty. And then there's me. I made it to the Gooseberry Guard Station. I don't need to take a break, but man, is this a nice place to do so. Got the beautiful walls I came off of right there. And look at all these aspens. I think I'm starting to develop some tendonitis in my left ankle. So tendonitis is always pretty well known because you can feel right about here where the tendon attaches from your shin to the top of your foot through the ankle. So that's starting to get worse and worse as I walk, and it's getting pretty painful. So I'm gonna have to walk through it. Luckily, those tend to heal pretty readily, and if they don't heal, you can still walk on it without causing any permanent damage. If you tie it up, you just have to deal with the pain. So this is not going to derail my hike, but it will make it a little harder, a little more annoying, and a little less comfortable. But hopefully, if I'm getting into East Glacier early, I'll have I know I'm taking a 0 day, so maybe like a day and a half, possibly 2 days to be off of my ankle could help a lot with that for the last stretch. And I'm only I think I'm a little less than 150 miles to the border, so there is nothing that's going to stop me from getting there at this point. Alright, I should probably hit these miles. The rain just starts getting a little bit heavier and heavier every couple minutes, so time to start pushing it again. Beautiful view of Beaver Lake down below. I believe I'm going to have to camp down there. That'll only put me at 23 miles for the day, but oh my god, my ankle is starting to get a little unbearable. I believe this is the campsite that everyone was talking about on Guthook. It is decent. I don't know if I'd call it one of the best on the CDT. It's just trees. But one benefit that there is the rain that's been coming down today has gotten pretty much everything wet, but it hasn't been particularly strong. So some of these dense trees, like these pine trees, still have dry areas. I don't know if you can see, but there's a pretty distinct line there of dry underneath that tree, and then under this one you can see it right here. And that is a commodity. But I just did some logistics, looking at the maps, and with everything that I have coming up, I have about 38 miles to town. So tomorrow that would be like a 25, leaving on the board a 13 Friday morning, or do a 28 and leave a 10, something like that. So not terrible, not too bad. But I was hoping to have a few less miles to get in Friday morning. So it's only 6:30 right now. It's just my ankle's starting to bother me, so I think maybe I'll just take a rest break, go a couple more miles, just try to find another flat spot and set up camp. Or maybe I'm screwing myself. I haven't seen dry spots underneath big thick pine trees in over 10 miles, but granted I was in a burn area and this is all live forest, so I'm not really sure what to do. I'm gonna make the call in a couple minutes because I'm just sitting here getting cold for no reason. So I either need to get walking or get to putting my tent up. But right now I'm leaning towards walking. I think I found a compromise between staying here and going like 5.5 miles to the next good potential camping area. There appears to be what people are saying is a decent, not amazing, but camp spot about 2.5 miles from here. So half the distance, but I still get to put some miles on the day. Okay, welcome to the compromise of the compromise. I've gone 1.3 miles and it started raining again. So I said next place I find is good. So I am in this canopy of like 4 or 5 different pine trees that have pretty decently thick canopy. Not the most level ground underneath, but everything down here is almost completely dry. So I'm just going to lay my tent over this, and then when I put my sleeping pad, sleeping bag in and everything and lay down on it, it'll just kind of flatten out. But yeah, right now I can stand in here and be pretty dry, even though the rain's starting to come down out there. So 1.3 miles, add that on to the day. I'll get you guys some stats in a little bit. I want to get my tent set up and everything. This is what I'm looking at for camp now. Just this little spot under the trees here. Honestly, it's not any better or worse than the other campsite, because the only other thing that the other campsite had was like maybe less foliage on the ground and a fire pit that I wasn't going to use. So this will do just fine, and it's just a trailside stop. So these babies hopefully are going to keep me protected for the evening, hopefully through the night if it comes to that. So this evening's stats, looks like I went 24.2 miles and did about 2,900 feet of climbing. So compared to yesterday, a pretty mellow day in terms of elevation. And I was definitely poised to put in a big day today. I was on track to do about 29 today. But then the rain started, and then this tendonitis or shin splints or something started up in my ankle, and it's been really tough to walk, and it's been slowing me down quite a bit. So I'm happy, with those two things happening, to get the distance I did is encouraging. I'm only 0.8 off of the average I need for the day, and that works out really well. Like I said, I have those bonus miles that I can mentally add on to today, so I'm still keeping my 25 average, and this leaves about or less than 37 miles left to town. So tomorrow I could do another average, keep my 25, and then that would leave only less than 12 miles to town. Or I could do a bigger day and have single digits to town. So I think I've still put myself in a really good position, assuming that my ankle will be healthy enough tomorrow to be able to push another 25, because those are big days. So hopefully I'll be able to do that, and if I can, I'm on track to be in town Friday morning, which is coming up pretty soon. So I'm excited to be done with this day. Obviously, you guys saw it started out really nice. I was having a ton of fun as a kid in the woods, but after some outside things started happening, it just got tougher and tougher to keep an upbeat attitude. So I'm getting kind of pissy towards the day, and I don't want it to end that way. So ending a little bit early, and I'm just going to try to take the light in these things and be excited that I've done as much as I've done, and also be excited that I'm only about a day and a half from town. So I'm going to call that the end of the day. I believe I have some awesome photos for you guys to check out, so let me know what you think about those, and see you tomorrow when we'll be picking things back up for I think 8 days left till on the CDT starting tomorrow morning. So getting there, almost down to a week. I'll see you tomorrow.